All right, welcome again, Facebook and YouTube and TikTok. We're about to do a little talking about the political world, and we want to let you know that we did play music early on this station, and we don't own the rights to it, and neither do we want any of the money from it. By I think they said Section 107. By I don't have it in front of me, but by one of the laws and rules, all the rights belong to the people who are responsible for the music. And also, the opinions of this platform is not always the opinions of me, the host, or either me, the owner of my YouTube channel and my Facebook space and radio station, and as a TikTok host. So everything may not be what the viewpoints that I have. And that's a disclaimer. All right, Mr. W, what's going on in the politic world? What have you heard?
Well, I can point you to a couple of activities.
Okay.
Basically what's going on in the United States, I think everyone is fairly well abreast of, at least some of the stuff that's going on. But on the international level, women are standing up.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen some of the videos about women in different parts of the country standing up, even topless. They're using this as a tool. Also in Ukraine, the witches of Buta, these are grandmothers, mothers, and daughters. They're also preparing to defend Kyiv against the Russian women. So these are two things that are going on the international level, other than the routine stuff with the Middle East and so forth. However, what I'm hearing is that the number of 0.3% of the voting age of 5.9 billion people on the planet. There's 8.5 billion total, but roughly voting age, that's roughly 5.9 billion somewhere. But 0.3% of that, not even a full percentage, that's not even a half a percent, actually voted to actually change the course of the world possibly. And that election was right here in the United States. And what I'm hearing is people are concerned about that on the international level. Civilians, politicians, and others, even corporations and so forth. They're concerned about that.
Okay. Highly favored, you're invited up. We're talking about some politics right now. But welcome to the live. And we're asking everybody, when you come in this live, tap the screen, join our team, and perhaps if you are really into the TikTok world, subscribe to our channel. But definitely join our team and send some likes at least, please. But I've met my quota of 5K today. Somebody be wanting me to get 10K. That's a lot of work. But anyway, but you said women all around the country, are they standing up because of what happened to Miss Kamala in this election? Or are they just standing up because they just sick and tired of being sick and tired?
I didn't say women around the country. I said women in the world internationally, in other countries.
That's what I'm trying, in the world. That's what I really meant.
Right. In other countries.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Is that still a direct related to what happened here? The reason they have started to stand up?
Yes, because they feel it was spread. Because, see, there are already hotspots in other countries.
Right.
Which actually support similar ideologies as the Trump organization. So they know this.
Now, DT, let's say right, DT.
Okay, DT, they are standing up to kind of be able to put themselves in a position to deal with it or fight it if it hits them.
Okay. That sounds like a good thing. That sounds like a great thing to me, that they want to stand up and fight against what happened over here in the United States to make sure it don't happen to other women. Before you say anything else, Miss W, we want to say good afternoon or good morning to Miss Mary. How you doing, Miss Mary?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Oh, okay.
How are you?
How old are you, Miss Mary?
How old am I? 59.
All right. I saw 59 somewhere on your on your profile or something I saw down there said 59. What do you have a faith? Are you a faith walker?
I am not.
Oh, okay, okay, that's fine, that's fine. Everybody's not, you know. Uh, I thank God for the ones that are because I am. But if you're not, that's hey, life goes on. Yeah, life goes on. Do you vote?
Yes,
You vote in the United. You are from the United States.
I am. I'm from Wisconsin.
Okay, change self. How old are you?
I'm in my 50s.
Oh, 30s? Okay. Are you from the United States?
Yes.
Do you vote? No.
No.
Okay. If you don't mind me asking, Miss Mary, do you lean more to the Dems or the Republic?
I'm an independent and I'm conservative, so I'm literally in the middle of
Oh,
social,
okay.
and I'm social conservative. How's that?
Okay, that's good. So, did you vote the last election?
I did, and I voted for Miss Harris.
Okay, yeah. So, because you say you're in the middle, it just depends on who the candidate is and what's going on, the issue. So, I like that. So, you're the right person to be on this panel. So, Mr. W, unless Miss Mary had anything in particular she wanted to say right now, we're gonna come back to you. Did you notice, Miss Mary, what Mr. W says going on? Also, Miss Jane, did you notice that he said that women all around the world naturally canvassing? I think you said, Mr. W, getting together and having a say about what happened in the United States of America.
Well, yeah, well, they are preparing themselves. They're protesting. They're in the streets. I mean, you can see they have videos out there on it. And they are basically preparing themselves for what's to come.
Okay. Have you seen on any of that, Miss Mary?
No, I have not.
Okay, but you like the sound of it, huh?
I'm okay when people speak their voices. Yes.
Right. So, Mr. W, seen that because what I do in the mornings, I am more. I don't like to say religious, but I'm a faith walker in the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. So that's the Father, Jesus, and the Holy Ghost. But I'm also a person, so I have balance. So I can deal either way it come. One of my main person that come over here and give me my info confesses atheist. So that's fine because it's for each individual person got to stand for themselves. So I don't judge in that area. But I am an evangelist. If you come over here early in the morning, I'm teaching and preaching and praying somebody will believe. But
That I do not mind. I am a spiritual being. I just do not believe in organized religion.
oh, awesome. Good. Yeah.
There is a God, but I don't believe God is happy with religion.
Right. So you sound like me then. I just happen to be born in the Baptist denomination, and I just.
I love the Baptist. Don't get me wrong on that. The Black Baptist. I was raised Catholic. There was a lot of mourning going on there.
No, it was a lot of sit down and stand. Look,
I need celebration when it comes to God.
It's a lot of sitting down and standing up there.
Yes, there is.
I have a niece that went to school now, and we went to her 8th grade graduation, and then I had a good friend that was a Thai person and used to do my stickers on my car. When he passed, I went to his service, and I declared, you gonna get up and down.
Yeah, that would be not in a good way either. So, you can get up and down too, but usually it's because of celebration.
Yes, ma'am. So anyway, yeah, so he was just sharing with us how the women are get together, and I heard you say what you said, whatever. But yeah, when I'm here, I'm doing talking points after I finish with I do like some traditional gospel music early in the morning. Most of the time, if I get here on time, from 6 to 7, and then I do a Bible study from 7 to 8. And then after that, we're open for me to play more music, talk about 4 things: life, just in general, the Word of God, politics, and the music industry, because I'm a gospel DJ too. So that's what we do over here. So is there anything that you have seen in the news in particular that's going to be coming up, or anything that you're concerned about, other than just the whole scary thing that people are out there scared of, the Project 25 and 47? To be honest with you, I don't like the stuff that's in it, but I'm not just running scared because of my spirituality, but I do know sometimes God will move his hand back and let things happen when people make bad choices. So with that being,
I'm in your realm where I'm not afraid. I'm more always tentative.
Right.
What's going to happen. And I just, I do have that faith inside me that lets me know that it will be okay. I just need to be tentative and be a warrior when I need to be.
Right. And I think that's what we all have to have, because we have a lot of associates that's out here. Some of them almost about to have nervous breakdowns, and it ain't even came into fruition yet, but they about to throw in the towels already.
I know. I'm not that type of person. I've been fighting my whole life. I will never stop fighting.
That's what I'm talking about. But anyway, and then I still see the hand move of God already. I see the hand move of God on some of the things that's trying to go forth that ain't going forth. They went to pulling out stuff on one man, and he pulled his name out the box because they went to digging up stuff, and he probably figured that before he could even get in the office, they're going to be come and mess with him. So he said, I don't even want to. I want them to leave me alone and stop doing research. It's just the idea, people are so disgusted because the main head leader can do anything and everything they big enough to do. And don't nothing happen, but everybody else, they pull out everything out of the woodwork and then be ready to throw the book at them.
Yeah. Politics is an ugly place, and people are. I mean, I'm old enough I am, and I remember Reagan years, and I just been here, and I think some of the young are the ones that are freaking out the most because they haven't lived life in what we've lived. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that things go through and pass, but we need to stay strong, and we need to get through them as a people, and not allow the government to control how we act or are towards each other.
And I'm just going to believe that between the Democrats and the Republicans, that there's going to be enough people up there, just like the ones who gave their endorsement to Miss Harris. I'm just going to believe that it's still some more that got elected, because people getting all bent out of shape because of having more Republicans in the House, more Republicans on the Senate, more Republicans on this, that they just automatically assume that when DT, and I use DT over here instead of the full name, but as when DT, if and when DT is sworn in, that he can just go day one and just turn the whole world upside down. I beg the difference, because first, like I said, you have a God on the throne, and then not only that, you got somebody in there got a little God in them, and somebody in there don't agree fully with making sure nobody be a dictator, making sure everybody's Social Security is gone. It's some key things that they worried about that I just don't believe. Now, they might keep on trying to hike the age up, but there's certain things I think that in order not to have a WAR, a silver WAR around here and mess up this whole country and have people, because people will lose their life for their life. You understand what I'm saying? They would lose their life for their life. So you got veterans that worked hard and served well, and you got people that have worked all their life and struggled. And I don't think all of them gonna sit around and let uh, 500 or 600 I remember people up there in the Washington D.C. just take away everything from them, and they have to get out there at their old age and with their tired and aching bodies and struggle and try to work hard at an old age when they done look forward to these days and look forward to these times where they can sit back and relax a little bit and travel. And then I was upset when Manuel opened up to me, or when somebody opened up to me, which we went and checked it out. They don't get as much as I thought they get, because they had me under the impression that the president, the vice president, and all the representatives and all the senators got paid the exact same salary that they get while they in office for the rest of their life, while they trying to up our Social Security, stop the veterans from getting their money. But they looked out there and they get certain type of pension. And the way I feel about it, they should just pay in Social Security like we do, and that's all they ought to get for the rest of their life. Not no, not no whole big old lump sum of thousands and thousands of dollars while they sit up there on their butt and try to say what we ought to get and how much we ought to get, and come to find out, people, they've been saying since I was in high school, and I'm 60 years old, and when I was in high school I was 17 and 18, and they've been saying ever since then that they was trying to raise the age up to 70 and talk about they was going to run out of money and all this. But from what Manuel says, according to his research and his documentation, it is alleged that they had a whole bunch of money in Social Security until they decided when they were in office to dip out of the Social Security stuff and pay for WAR1, WAR2, and anything else that needs a little money. They feel that it's their obligation and they got the right to dip into the Social Security funds.
Yeah, exactly. And see, that's what I hope that something happens. The thing that gets me the most excited about this person that's going in is that they want to start deconstructing some of the waste that is going on in our country. Some of the monies that are going to other places other than us, ones that actually pay into our system. That's what gets me excited about this. The rest of it I can deal with and I can work around and I can fight it. But that part of them actually going in, because I think when they're talking about Social Security, I think they're talking about getting rid of the waste of Social Security. And that is that we have so many people that work at Social Security that it's a redundant system, right? It just keeps pumping money to not the people that paid into it, but the people that actually work there. You know what I mean? They're getting more benefits than the people that actually put the money into it.
Okay, let's see.
The government overages that I'm really wanting to see them get after.
Okay, so where is that documented at? Do you know, Mary, or you just heard it?
Well, I know I don't know so much about Social Security on the aspect of that, but I would think that it's another social services thing, kind of like human services, where human services, it basically, I can probably look it up pretty quick, but like we had an incident right here in my town where they misappropriated. This is what they called it: misappropriated $3 million. Misappropriated. Okay, that's called stealing. By any means, anyone else did it, it'd be called stealing. But they misappropriated. There's audits that need to be done by these people that are working in that culture, that believe that they're almost entitled to have the monies that should have been put down to the people that actually needed it. That's what I want to happen. Same with the veteran services and these organizations that have been around forever, that everybody just trusts in them that they're going to do the right thing, and they're not anymore, right? Because nobody's watching them.
Okay. Well, I know.
Like I said, I'm a conservative when it comes to money. I'm a socialist when it comes to that people do need help. But I think it should be done in a way that actually helps the people, not not create another bank for somebody else to make money.
Right, right. All right. Okay. So I wanted to say Manuel looked some stuff up and told me the different ways that the money is put and spread about with Social Security, and the different one. One it's got enough in there for the next 75 years. One has got enough in there until year 1933, 2033, and another one got enough in there for the one of them for the next 8 years, and one of them for the next 75 years, and one of them for the next, I don't forgot how many years, because he just looked it up for how Social Security is put put in, and right now all of them got something in it, but they had a whole lot in it years ago until they started going into it for everything else. So, Mr. W, in hearing what Mary said, are you familiar with anything that she's saying? The misappropriateness and all of that. And how you doing, big brother? Okay, so can you help us out? Anything that you know in particular that's documented?
Well, as far as documentation is concerned, that's always a difficult case because the way they formulate things in writing. However, misappropriation of funds has always been known throughout the government. And what that basically means is you got appropriated funds. These are the funds that are approved through the purse of Congress, and they're put into a certain account like Department of Defense or whatever, Homeland Security. And this money is there. Once it's there, they get to use it. Anything else that comes after that will be in the next fiscal year. So in misappropriating funds, that means once they get those funds, if they use it wrong, then that's also misappropriating funds. In other words, you get funds to, say, train a group of people to accomplish a certain mission, but you use that money for something else. That's also a misappropriated fund. And they can also move money from various accounts, like in Social Security. They have one account that goes up to 75 years. That is the SSDI account. That's one part of the three elements of Social Security. You have retirement, and then there's another one. One is disability, retirement, and SSDI. Anyway, there are three of them. The longest one is 75 years, that's DI. Another one is the 2033. That is basically the regular retirement. However, that's constantly being replenished as people work. If the numbers of the working population lower, then that number go down.
Yes.
When people retire, that number also goes down if they stop working.
Okay.
So I understand basically what she's saying in this situation, but that's always been going on. And it's been going on because of how they need to use money when they get in certain situations. They find out they're short one area, then they got to go get some money to keep it because they can't draw from other accounts.
Okay. Okay.
But there's also, and the third one. So there's Social Security, there's Social Security disability, and then there's SSI, which is basically a federal level of welfare. That's what SSI is.
Well, basically, that's what I was saying. There are three types. The last one, SSDI, goes, has enough funds to cover it for 75 years, is what they're saying.
Yep. And so SSDI is that the person paid into Social Security, earned enough credits to receive basically the retirement early. And then there's SSI, which means they didn't have enough credits, they didn't pay enough in, so they receive a stipend amount.
And sometimes that's because either for disabilities or mental stuff
mental
like that.
Physical. Yes, it's for all of them. Which is the difference is one is for people that one is for people who had enough credits to pull money from and to give them a number of what you would be getting if you retired at that age. The other one is that you didn't have enough credits, so they gave you the SSI.
Well, this is my take. They shouldn't take nothing else out of Social Security and quit trying to raise the age and just keep on putting in there, because all of us, like me, I feel that I'm 60 now, and at 62, 67, I want mine. And so if they can get some kind of pension and get all kind of thousands of dollars and all these extra incentives after they done been up there halfway rich all their life, and if there's some Medicare, and if they got some kind of Medicaid they got out there, and they got that they could give somebody who ain't made no whole lot of money in their life, I want mine. And,
Right.
yeah, I want mine because they got some kind of something that they getting, and all of them ain't deserve to be up there because some of them done cheated and did everything they can do to get what they got, and all of it ain't because they were smart. Some of it because their parents had money. Some of it was because of who they knew and all of that. So they can miss me with talking about they earned it because some people earned it, but a bunch of them ain't earned nothing.
Right.
You know.
See, the thing that is what gets me frustrated with our government is the money is like they get, I think it's either $40,000 or $60,000 every time they get elected to actually redo their offices. So you have to figure somebody 60. Yeah, would you like that to be able to fix up your home? You know what I mean?
Excuse me.
Every couple of years to be able to, have $60,000 just handed to you to say, "Hey, here, fix your home." I would like that. I don't.
And then all the extra money that I'm learning about that they get from the lobbyists, all this extra campaign money they get, and that just goes nowhere to do nothing. All that money, to me, if they don't spend all their campaign money, they need to have a law where they have to dip it up into Social Security or something that's good, that's going to help our country. Something that's going to help our country, and quit always trying to figure out how they can give us less and how they can not raise. Because even for fast food or anything, as hard as you work, because I work in them. Matter of fact, I'm doing part-time in the evening again at 6 on that hard concrete. And so they need to make sure they give everybody sufficient enough money. I'm like Martin Luther King. Work is honorable, even if you're a ditch digger. So make sure you pay the ditch digger. Make sure you pay the fast food worker. Make sure you pay these people enough money when they work. So that's where I'm at. Especially if you can sit up there on your tails and get all this extra money. To campaign, you got all this extra money. You talk about to fix up a doggone office when the office already got fixed the last 4 years or the last 2 years. They fixed the office. So what you need in the office, you don't need nothing in the office. All you need to go up in there with the desk and stuff, it's got to be there. Because then when you move that desk out, it's probably going on the garbage somewhere. Probably won't even have sense enough to give it to Goodwill.
And where else can you work for 4 years and get $100,000 the rest of your life?
See, that kind of stuff, that foolishness right there. But yet still, you want to take, and if you ain't had no high-paying job like myself, if you ain't had no high-paying job, the most you going to get a month whenever you retire is going to be from $800 to $1,200, but you still got to go to work and be broke down trying to work. Because that can't do nothing, and yet still y'all getting $100 and some $1,000. And like I said, miss me with you went to college and you earned this, you earned that. Yeah, thank God for a handful of y'all, but the rest of them miss me with it.
There's a lot of things that need to be fixed in the government, and now that I'm aware of them, I'm going to be talking to my senators and representatives, because I just found out, this really appalls me, that and I've heard two numbers, 25 and 31 years, but that it's the Civil Rights Act that gives you the right to vote as a Black person. I find that offensive that we've gone through this, so many years, and yet they have not just made it a regular law, or a constitutional right for the Black.
Well, actually, what they doing, Mary, what gets me, even with this election and everything, if them repubs wouldn't have went up in there in Georgia and all these states and made it harder for the people to vote, what I think they keep doing things to make sure they get elected and other people don't get elected because they talk about what the country want and the country done spoke. No, the country didn't speak. A handful of people spoke because there was a lot of people who live out up in the byways and highways that could not get to their voting places because they done made it hard for them to get there. And then when they get there, they done made it hard. Well, people used to try to, because voting is such a privilege and such a right that they would have people volunteer and bring water and bring snacks and stuff to pass out in the line. And then they went and made laws to suppress the vote, that people wouldn't bring water and that they would get tired, be about to pass out and just get tired, get out the line and go home. And then in certain states, if they see you get out the line, you come back, they'll try to disqualify you to vote. So my thing about it, they ain't gonna try to pass no law for nothing to vote, because they don't want the people to vote. They want it to make it harder for them to vote. And I think that they need to go back, like they said, the founding fathers said, or somebody said, not the founding fathers, but one of them presidents said that the Constitution ought to be revisited ratified and revisited every 20 years. And they need to go back and revisit it. And one thing I think they need to get out of there, and we need to work hard to get out of there, and that thing that's talk about black people is what y'all said of a human, what they call it?
3/4 of a human.
But that needs to come out of that altogether. That needs to be banded. That needs to come out of there. It needs to be all men are created equal, period.
All men and women.
Yeah, all men and women are. Well, man is supposed to be woman too, but you know we got to say it. We got to say it to make sure. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mary.
I said all humans are. Why don't we just go there? All humans of natural, of citizenship are,
Yeah, we need to have that eradicated. And like you said, we all need to get with our local people, and we need to petition, and we need to make sure they get this thing right. And I know another thing, I'm skeptical about it because people are so evil, but the popular vote, according to the electoral, I kind of want them to get. I'm wishy-washy about whether they should get rid of electors altogether and just go with popular vote, because I think more people would vote. More people will vote if they go more with the popular vote. And I'm talking about more credible people, like would be on the side of what's right for everybody. I think they would vote more, because when they find out that they have voted, and like, for instance, a lot of people I know, especially in the black community, when they voted for Hillary Clinton and she got the popular vote, but then she still was not able to win, they was furious. Even some people with this election this time, they feel like something went wrong somewhere in the voting, and they are furious. But I'm furious because even before the voting took place, they put the Republicans, when they got in office, they went to changing laws and making it harder, especially in Georgia. They said that they used to have the people after church. They had a specific area where the church was popular or whatever, and they would go and vote after church. They changed that law. And it was several of those swing states and different states that really need to be, that they were losing. They changed and made the laws harder. And I think if you any kind of way right, and still again, police immunity, you shouldn't really get nobody total immunity, because if somebody do something wrong, they ain't supposed to get no immunity. Everybody supposed to suffer some little consequence. I ain't said throw the book at them, but nobody ain't supposed to be just say, oh, you automatically gonna get immunity, even if you done did a criminal act or you done did something that you shouldn't have did. No, you don't do that. But what you need to be doing, in my opinion, if you for right, how in the world y'all keep blocking the Lewis man, the John Lewis Act? No, because they don't want you to vote. And how do you keep on blocking the George Floyd Act? How you gonna do that? Because you just think it's okay. I don't care if somebody done been in jail or what they done did. That don't mean they deserve for you to just step on their neck and unalive them. No, don't nobody deserve nothing like that. So no, you should make sure them the kind of laws, and them the folks I'm voting for. And as far as AB, that's between that person and they God. And it's sure and as sure as the right to marry who you want, that's between them and they God. Because I'm going to preach what I preach when I'm in my pulpit, when I'm on my platform, or when I'm in my church. And then it's up to them people to do what they're supposed to do and not do what they're supposed to do. But you're going to take two little laws and you're going to vote for somebody who against everything else that really, truly matters to you. That matters to them people. But this other stuff really matters to you. And then we have to realize that the president is a president of the United States of America. Don't care what their religion is. And they can't boast they voted just on my belief and my faith. Long as they not voting on something that's going to cause people to go out there and do anything they want to do and unalive anybody they want to alive and not serve consequences. Those are the kind of rules that I'm looking for and worried about. Not who going and doing whatever they doing with their own body, because they got their own God to answer for that.
Exactly.
You know.
What I think is that I think people are looking for morals, ethics, and common sense. I think that's what we're looking for in our government is those things: morals, ethics, and common sense.
Common
if we can get
sense.
those things back into our country again, I think that's where we will go. Because I was for on the side of the conservative. I was for basically we need to do something about immigration. Immigration is something that is costing us money in certain areas of our country, which is then depleting their systems. And I'm for people coming here because if I didn't believe that, I wouldn't be here, right? I wouldn't be here if there wasn't immigration. So I believe in immigration, but I believe that there's laws that you have to follow. Well, if those laws aren't working anymore, then we need to change the laws. Right?
Okay, so I'm with you, Mary. So I like what you're saying. You're saying that you want them to, but either party can help fix that. You don't have to be in a certain party for that, right? And where are you originally from, or where are your parents from?
Well, originally, I come from Scotland, Ireland. That's on one side. Norway and English on the other side.
Okay, so exactly, and even all of them are either everybody in the United States wouldn't be here if it wasn't from somebody coming here. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, and my thing about it, what I don't believe in is that you go and people who've been here just because they haven't completely got their citizenship, that you go just snatching families apart and stuff like that. No, that's not how you handle it. And then you don't make it so hard for people to get citizenship.
Right.
And like you said, that that's how countries strive on, people coming in and exchanging and stuff like that. And not only that, from listening on these platforms, you'll find out what people don't understand. Even the people, if they haven't got all their papers yet, most of them are in the process of getting their paper. And then when they do get their and if they don't have their papers yet, they are paying a lot of taxes, and they are working those jobs that some of these people who think they don't arrive or think they're too good haven't had enough slavery or hard time to know how hard it used to be and don't want to work and do nothing. And so these people will work these jobs because they're so proud to just be here, and they work these jobs. So we need these people to keep the economy going. And not only that, those people are paying, from what I understand, I don't know if it was you or somebody else on the line, talked about they pay so much stuff and pay so many taxes and paid into so much, and they could not, even if they wanted to or they got in bad shape, could not, because they was not all the way a citizen yet. They could not receive any benefits like food vouchers. They couldn't receive no kind of vouchers or nothing that can do the extra help. Not even the Medicaid care at one time if they were not a citizen yet. So what you mean? They ain't causing nobody no problem if they over here working, and then you got more people that's already from here and over here that's committing these unlawful crimes and stuff. So don't blame that on people that's coming over the border.
Exactly.
You know.
It is those that are just stepping over the border, and there's things that are happening here in the United States because of it. That there's sweatshops that they're finding, and then they're also finding, which is basically they're paying to be here. So what it is that they'll bring people over here illegally, and then they'll put them into servitude, right? So basically, a nice way of calling servitude is slavery, right? And so they'll put them into those situations. I don't want to see those situations happening in my country anymore. Right. I see where they're finding places where they're putting children as traffickers.
Okay, but guess what?
So we need to stop that stuff. We need to morally and ethically cleanse our country of the crazy that we have put into it.
And we have to realize too that the people in these high places, the one that making these laws, we have to be careful with them too. They don't want the AB laws, but guess what? Those children are gonna come here unmothered, unfathered, and they're gonna be officers. And then you got to watch these people in high office, even in, as you said, the clergy that's taking them children, and them children coming up missing, and they somewhere, and the big politicians and the big people in the big position, it is alleged they are trafficking them as well. So we got a mess going on. So what they used to say, the pot can't call something, the killer can't call the pot or whatever. I forget what the old folks said.
The pot can't call the kettle black.
Right. So you got
the whole thing is that we have allowed our nation to be built on immoral behavior, right? Anything that had to do with, slavery or the way that they treated other cultures when they first got here, we have been we did not address those issues. We just kept legalizing certain things, and then when we morally got a little bit better, we undid things, but we never healed from those things. We still have people in our country. We didn't, as a country, say no. This is immorally wrong. We need to make it so that we face these issues, we heal from those issues, and if we don't do those things, then we're just going to continually make the same mistakes we have in the past.
That's
because right. we never fixed our past, so we're always going to make the same mistakes in the future.
Right.
Because we would rather not look like. I've been on lives where they say, why don't white people want to talk about racism? It's not all white people don't want to
white tea.
White tea.
TikTok language. Okay.
Don't want to talk about racism. There are some that do not because they're uncomfortable with it, because they're not at a place where they can talk about it. They don't understand or haven't educated themselves of where it came from, where it stemmed from. And right. That's why people need to educate themselves, because I think the more that you educate yourself, the better you are.
Right. And then, of course, we're going to always have some people don't care, even if they get educated. They just want to be a supremacy, and you're going to have that till Jesus comes. So you can't even really worry about it. But yeah, that's another thing. They want to do this in education because they don't want the whole history. Now, as long as we was accepting them little books with a little this and a little of that, and just said that the South law and the North didn't win. And to be honest, when I was in school, I really didn't pay attention, and I took civics and I took history. But it wasn't until they wanted the statues down when I realized who Robert Lee and all them people was, and how they had their horses railed up, and how they was trying to keep people in bondage and in slavery. How the North defeated the South and all of that, and why that was so important. And an old lady, I'm finally really getting the concept and getting it in my head what that was about. But all this stuff should have been taught. But like I said, it's only been a few years since we really, if you look at it, it seems like a long time. But right when I was being born, and a few years after you and I was born, that's when they really integrated. So when they integrated, they didn't have all the truth and the stuff in the books. Just like even the inventions that the black people did. You didn't really just straight out learn that in school. It came up every now and then. And then this little funky thing called Black History Month in February. No, all the books. They need to rewrite even the books in history and school and put everything in there. And now, don't get me wrong, it makes people angry. Baby, it used to be some angry folks when Ruth started coming out, and every year it came on, it used to be a mess. But we all have to embrace it and realize it is what it is. It was what it was. And there are some people that are not there anymore. But you always remember that you this color, they that color. It's always a possibility. But still embrace people and love on them anyway until they show you different. But don't never close your eyes. Always be mindful that they are their color, you are your color, and it's just nothing you can do about it. But that don't mean you don't still love and try to get along. But the truth still needs to be taught, just like it was. And like you said, when everybody's taught the truth, and then when people, we was on live when we was talking about when are people gonna take responsibility for the actions. White tea as well. When you gonna take responsibility that it was what it was? Don't sugarcoat it. Don't fix it. It was what it was. And it just happened to be your nationality, but we know it wasn't all of you, because if it wasn't for some of the white tea people, none of those black people that did the underground this and the this and the that, it had white tea people put their life on the line because they believed in righteousness, just like Martin Luther King did. They hid them people in their house, knowing that they could have been unalive, and they made sacrifices and helped people to escape and to the north and to just escape slavery. So it ain't everybody. We know it ain't everybody, but it is a reality, and the truth needs to be the truth.
Yes, and that's where that's where some people don't believe that the white tea people have ever helped, right? And they have to learn the true history that even during the civil rights, there were a lot of white tea people that lost their lives just being able to get it so that black people could vote.
Yeah, and a lot of them march hand in hand, and I don't know why they don't believe it, because they got the movies, they got the video footage that you can still see. And sometimes during Black History Month, they play all that. So we got to see things as a whole and not just be cornered off in hatred. And then those who so-called on both ends, black, white, and all of that claim they so religious or they so Christian or they so righteous. If you that righteous, you want you would want righteousness to be righteousness. You know what I'm saying? You want things to be done the way it's supposed to be. It's a right and a wrong way to do everything. And to suppress everything and keep lying about it, that's the wrong way to do it.
Right. And I think it shouldn't be that we have a Black History Month or a Native American month, or it should just be history. It shouldn't be that it's just a month we learn about this stuff. It should be we learn, we go through this, we learn through what our, so you start out at a young age, teaching history at an appropriate age, and you just keep working it up.
Right.
And it's instead of just, throwing a month at somebody, because anybody, especially.
And we done too much. We done too much to be cornered off into 1 month anyway. And now don't get me wrong, I appreciate that, they even went in on and said we're going to declare this, because, they didn't have to say that, the people who in charge. But it should be declared more now that it go in the books of history and be taught in history.
Exactly.
But Mary, look, I'm going to have to get out of here in a few minutes. So we're going to continue this another day. But Mr. W, you're going to have respond to some of what me and Mary said and have closing remarks for us so I can get out of here.
Well, there's a couple of things that I could add to what you guys are talking about. I mean, you guys covered a lot of ground. But there are two things that I have paid close attention to. Number one, the Supreme Court allowing for DT to be on the ballot from the one case. That's one point I've been paying attention to. The second one I've been paying attention to is in 2020, the Supreme Court approved that Virginia could remove voters from the polls, the ballots, purging. And of course, some other states went along with that. So that may be one of the reasons why the election was lost, the voter purging in those swing states. However, the big picture is this. The court has America in a situation. And the only way out of this is to vote and to push the representatives in House of Representatives and in the Senate. to try to force the Supreme Court to do the right thing. Another way out of this is somehow the Democrats can get in position in the next 2 years to change the Supreme Court. If that doesn't happen, and DT and his team can create a hierarchy from the top to the bottom, through the military, through the Department of Defense, through the Justice Department, all the way down to Homeland Security, then we are in big trouble.
Yeah, so that's what
it is. The problem of it is what Mary mentioned earlier, education. But education, that should have started a long time ago. Because Americans, to be honest with you, over history, you can see it throughout other countries in the world. The American society do not know how to vote. You can see it in the past. They go up, they get something going, then they vote it out, and then they get fooled again like it did in 1980 with Reagan. Then they vote it out because they realize, oh, that's not good. Then they vote somebody else in and make it right. Then they don't like them. Then they vote them back out, and it just keeps going over and over. As opposed to like European countries, they do not focus on these personalities. They focus on what has to be done. This is why they have so much more than Americans. Some of the examples of what they have is they work 38.5 hours a week and get paid full. They get paid for every change of hours or whatever. They also get 6 weeks of vacation. They get 12 weeks for every illness. That means if you break one leg, that's 12 weeks. If you break the other one, that's another 12 weeks. They also get like 21 days of holidays. And when they get like the age of 50, they get an additional 6 weeks vacation to go to what they call a medical corps, where they go. It's like a resort, a vacation resort. And they go to the doctor sometime that morning. The doctor tell them what to do throughout the day, you know, if they want to go to the gym. And other than that, they can go and party and go to the clubs, and they get that checkup every day for 6 weeks to see how they're doing. That's mandatory under the healthcare system.
And you know, I heard about some of that stuff.
Yeah, and another one is once a person gets a certain age, I'm not sure, but I think if I'm not mistaken, I think it's around 40. The overall retirements start going up automatically, and their healthcare time gets extended. So in other words, if you're 40, instead of having like 12 weeks for one illness, you may have 16. The people fought for that. They didn't just get that by not knowing what to vote for. Okay, and they also have another system which we don't have, which I saw. I was shocked. I woke up one morning, and the next day they had a new president. And my question was, wait a minute, they didn't have an election. Well, they had the power in their Congress, in their parliament. So they said, okay, this guy is not, him and his party is not supporting what we want to. We form a coalition with another party, kick him out. Now we got a new leader. We keep rolling. They did all that through knowing how the political structure works. Americans, they don't have that yet. Americans, they know how personalities work.
Yep.
In other words, if you see a person on TV selling you something and you like that person, chances are you buy it. Then somebody else bring another superstar or celebrity or somebody you like and you support it. And that goes all the way across the board. And Reagan was a perfect example.
Yes.
Okay. He was on television. He was an actor and all this stuff, and people voted him in. And what did he do?
Nothing.
The reason why people are working 3 and 4 jobs a day now, it's one of the reasons. The reason why you have too many homeless people on the street is another reason, because he killed all the mental institutions.
Not killed.
Oh, sorry. Okay, well, well, that don't fit in that context anyway. But I mean, it means he pushed them. Okay. The next thing, what he did was he gave a tax cut to the rich.
Yes.
Okay. He gave a tax cut to the rich, and he destroyed the unions with the air traffic controllers that time. Okay, so the people voted him in based on pure emotions.
Right.
Look what they got.
And that's the same thing. What was the other governor of California? They voted for him because he was a superstar.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's America's biggest problem right there. They vote emotionally and not logically.
And on fame and all that kind of stuff and all that craziness. All right. Did you have a final word, Kathy, before I close it out?
Well, I'm a true believer that is the issue with our country, is because we do not educate our young like other countries do. We need to get better at that. We need to educate our voters better on learning how to get sources instead of listening to other people, and fact check better on what's the reality, because we have a lot of voters right now that didn't have to live during the Reagan years and the Bush 1 and the Bush 2 years to understand what trickle-down theory really means.
And not even that, because like me, Mary, we have a lot of people that did live those years, but they were young and their parents was taking care of them. They wasn't paying attention to politics like myself. Like I said, within this last, I said 5 years, I paid. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. The biggest time I always used to hear things like I heard about when Nixon was in. I was a little girl. I heard him talking about it, and I used to watch the news and see how he was about to go crazy because of what all he had done. And
that's the part is though that we don't get our information from TV. We get our information by going back to the old things of looking at. We don't have books too much anymore, but looking at documentation, looking at it, not going by what people are saying, because these are always going to, even like the Bible. We'll go to the Bible. Everybody takes the Bible and reads their own into it. They don't read it by the words. They read it by whatever they're feeling when they read that word.
Or either I'll say this like you. I can take people word. Like, I'm not going to do a whole lot of reading, like I said, and I always say it because I'm not the best reader. But if somebody reads it and they tell me what it says, and then I'll take it from there and see what my thoughts are about it. So that's why I have Mr. W on here. And now I found out you know a lot, so I'll be inviting you. That's why I have Manuel on here, because he can pull it up right quick and read it real fast. He king and smart like that. And then I can listen to it and gather what my thoughts are about it. And Mr. W done been around the mountain a few times. He's a military man. He's traveled a lot. So he know a lot of stuff. And so when he speak, and then you can tell he know, because when he opened his mouth, he, most of the time he know a little bit about what he talking about. Even when it comes to Mother Nature, we're not exactly, our faiths are not the same. And then yours, I know you spiritual. That's enough for me, because you just don't like organized religion, and a lot of people don't anymore. And I understand why. I do. I understand why. But since, like I said, since I'm easy, I love fellowship. So I'm gonna go on up in there anyway. You know what I'm saying? And then I feel like the Bible said that's how you know you really got it, and you done changed from death to life, when you can love you one another and look beyond these folks' fault and see they need, and why they look beyond yours, and you just praise me anyhow, knowing that you tearing the weak and the, what they call it, got to tear it together.
Yeah. And see, the other thing that I want people to start understanding, especially younger generation, is that your local politics are so important, because that's what affects you the most.
Right.
I'm going to be running for city council here starting in a few days.
I'm gonna run up after this term. If the one that's sitting now runs this time, I'll run it the next time after he can't run no more. But if he decides not to run this time, I will run this time too. But our election is in 26.
Yeah, see, our city council is coming up. We have to get signatures in December, which is fun times, especially after this election. And then we start the whole process. We get our name on the ballot and all that in January with all the signatures that we got. And then the campaigning starts in January through April. We then elect in April.
And I don't know if we have to get signatures or what. I haven't even really checked into it.
I got to get signatures to get on the ballot.
But I don't think we have to. I think that we just go and we have to give them our name, and they have to do a research on us and qualify us. And then we get on the ballot.
What state are you in?
I'm in Louisiana.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with us, we have to get signatures just to get on the ballot. You can be a write-in where you don't need the signatures, then you just have to fill out paperwork for that.
Right.
But you have to put in like if you take any monies in, they want to know that. That's more for IRS, and then you can only get so much money. And then you can get endorsements. So there's a lot of.
Well, now I think we have to do that kind of stuff, but I think just to get on the ballot, from what I'm seeing, because I know some people who ran and they didn't really, I never really asked them what all they did, but I know that they were able to run. And I do know that this last election, they was trying to get somebody to run, and there was some research that was something happened and they disqualified her because of something. So yeah, so
like I'm going for city council, but there's county board, there's school board, there's all these things that you can get involved in. Even if you don't want to get involved in it at the election level, you can go and be on commissions that are within your counties and your cities so that you can do these things. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm creating a tiny home village with 36 places for people to live that are homeless or affordable housing. So it's and our city is kind of fucking me on it. So I'm going to go in there and I'm going to try to fight for people that are lower income and homeless to be able to get them a place on the plate and their voices to be heard, because we are throwing away a lot of people right now. And I don't like that, and I don't appreciate it.
Right. Well, that's what I'm doing too. I go to a lot of the council meetings, and then I'm on this other little organization that started and involved with that. But then I vowed that I wanted to do the city councilman for my we don't have counties here. We have parishes and stuff. But we have a district for our city council, a district in our city. So I'm once the one that's in now, once he decides not to run again or can't run again, I'm gonna put my name in the hat. I don't care who else put theirs in there. I'm putting mine up in there if I still be around.
I wish we had that, and I wish we had that at the federal level too with the term limits. I'm hoping that happens too. Because there are people up there that have been up there way too long and really don't know reality and are just what I call it, because I'm from the country, we just call it
But look, we're going to talk again. I'll be here if the Lord said the same tomorrow. And listen, I have to do something different. I'll be here at least from 8 to 10 and perhaps a little later. But I thank you for coming in, and do come again. Mr. W, wasn't nothing else you wanted to say before I close out, huh?
No, ma'am. It's so much that we could.
Well, we're going to be every day, I'm going to be here unless there's something go on. Even if I have to go on my own calls, y'all, most of the time, if somebody else is riding and driving, I still can come live. So I plan to be here between 8 and 10 or 8 and 12. My stopping time is at 10, 11, and 12. It just depends on who's on and what we're talking about. And it took y'all a long time to come. I was here for an hour just waiting. I was here for an hour just waiting.
I'll come in earlier.
Okay, thank you so much. Father God, I just thank you for this opportunity to discuss things in our community with these individuals, God. I thank you for everybody who joined in. I thank you for everybody who's listening or have listened, Lord. And we hope it'll be something that would help somebody and to encourage somebody. And we'll be careful to give you all the praise and all the honor and all the glory. In Jesus' name, amen, amen. Y'all have a blessed one. Mr. W, is Better Butter back?
I haven't heard anything from her lately.
Okay, all right. Well, I guess we'll know at 3:00 today.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Are you guys on other lives today?
Yeah, I'm always up in somebody's live. I go on other spiritual lives, but Better Butter talks about this election and stuff. She talks about politics, and there's a few more. I even go into some of the ones who are diehard DT supporters. I don't stay in that long because I just can't take it. I can't take foolishness. I have zero.
Gotta go in there as a warrior, and that's where I come in. I have to go into places because I want to be a warrior.
I have zero tolerance for foolishness and foolish talk.
I know.
And then sometimes when you go on, if you go on any of those stages and you bring out anything that makes sense, they still gonna rebuke it, rebuttal it, and sometimes try to drop you off your stage. And that part, I don't need to drop me off this thing because I don't even have to be up here because I already know what I feel and believe, and I already know what's right and what's wrong. So if y'all ain't got sense enough to know it, that's on y'all.
Amen.
Yeah.
All right. You're going to have a fabulous day.
Okay, y'all have a fabulous day. Okay. Talk to y'all later. Hey, DJ, thank you for coming by. All right, I'm out. As soon as this get off my stream. Okay, there you go. I'm out. Okay. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Yeah, I got to get out of here. Facebook.